Welcome to New Quizzes, Canvas New Quizzes. We are going to demo that today from start to finish. So we are going to start out, you'll notice here I'm using the Chrome browser. We're going to start out with starting off with a fresh sandbox here. I just made this sandbox just for this demonstration. And the first thing we're going to do in this sandbox is enable new quizzes in it. So I'm going to start that right off here by going straight down to new quizzes and enabling it. And that turns it on right away. So then I can go straight over into quizzes. And I'm going to go directly into making my very first quiz. So now it gives me the option. I can choose between new quizzes or classic quizzes. And here I can make my decision. Do I want to make this a permanent choice? I can decide I can go new quizzes forever and remember my choice for this course, or I can decide to make my choice from here on out. And I'm just going to go ahead and decide that I'm committed to new quizzes forever. And here we are in our new quizzes right here. And new quizzes is going to give us some things right off the bat that we are going to not necessarily need. And one of them here is points. And when you're working with a quiz, one of the things you're doing in a quiz is you're designating the points for each question. So deciding on a number of points right off the bat for the entire quiz it's just not going to work. So there's no reason to select our points right here. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that blank. If we put it as 1,000 points, 1,000,000 points, it wouldn't make any difference here. We can just skip right past it. It doesn't matter what we put. We can just put as many zeros as we want. If we skip past it and go down to build, we're going to go right into building our quiz. So we'll just skip on past it and we'll go right to building it. But the rest of the things, the rest of the tools here apply just like they would anywhere else. Assignment group, display grades as, don't count towards the final grade. They mean the same things they would anywhere else in Canvas, but we'll go straight to build. So as it's assembling our new quiz here and starting it right off, here's how our new quiz starts out. It starts with our title card up top, our sample new quiz that we put in on that last page. Our instruction sheet is going to go in that next area there, and we can go ahead and just pop our instructions right in there. Once we're done and satisfied with our instructions, we can click done. If we're going to put any time limits or anything like that on our quiz, or maybe a timer, 30 minutes or anything like that, we might want to designate that in here. And once we're done with that, we can click done. Once we're ready to answer to add a question to our quiz, all we have to do is click the plus button, and then we can insert our content, and we have our choices for our question types right here at the bottom. We'll go ahead and start with our easiest question type, our true or false right here, and we'll go right to building. Will it snow today? Or it will snow today. So our statement there, is it true or false? I'm going to say it is false. And oh, that was the title, not our question stem. I always put it up in the title area. Let me go back to edit mode. Sorry, I'm a little fumbly today. So in the title area, you don't have to put anything. You can leave the question title blank. It'll just put in true or false, 1 point. It will snow today. That'll be how it looks. If you want a title, you could have a fancy title on it. You could be Snowmageddon, whatever you want. And then you have your other options down here, show on screen calculator. If it was a math problem, you might want to put that. If you wanted to align it to outcomes, if you wanted to bank this snow question to have in other tests later, this is where you would designate it for item banking. And here's where you designate the number of points. We're going to let this be a 3-point question. And then if we wanted to add a comment, so once our students answer it, if they get a correct answer, you are a forecaster. This is their correct answer pop up. Here's their incorrect answer pop up. A forecaster. And then general feedback. You need to go to weather school. So you kind of get the idea of how the comments work. And those comments now will display depending on what type of answer they select. But we are now done with this question. You don't have to use every one of those tools. You don't have to put a title in. You don't have to put comments in for different question types. That's all up to you. Do it as much or as little as you want. The only required parts are it will snow today, true and false. That's the only required parts of the question. Our next question we're going to do is an ordering type of question. I don't think we see the ordering question type very much I don't think we see it at all in Canvas, but let's just go ahead and use an order. And oh, of course I put it up the top again. Put it down here where it belongs. Do largest to smallest. We'll just do, I don't know, 20, 14, 12, 10. This is all it is. This is just ordering things. They're just going to be moving the order around, and I'll show you in just a quick second here. That one is pretty much ordered, but we'll go into preview mode really quick and you can see how this works. So they're just going to essentially be rearranging these in an order. So that's all. So if you've never seen that question type before, I really wasn't that familiar with them either, but that's just ordering. So largest to smallest. And then our next type, numeric. These are just numeric type questions. So this one will just make it simple, and I'll just stay out of the title type this time. We'll just do 2 plus 2. And this one will do an exact response. We can do margin of error, within a range, precise response. Let's do within a range, and we'll do within 3 to 5. I think it's a pretty good range. And then that one's pretty done. So 3 to 5 inclusive. And then we'll do a multiple choice. We've all seen this kind before. Choice ready to go. Thing you see when Canvas is inbox, dashboard, calendar, or classes or courses. And quick answers dashboard. So that type is done. Oop, I left it stem blank again. Time. I wish they would take the question title away. It's one annoyance. Now, multiple answer. I like the multiple answer question type. So multiple answer questions. These ones. Oh, this one. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I see. So one thing that I'm doing here that I was not doing before. I just noticed something that I hadn't noticed. Offer. Copy. I'll tell you guys in a second. That's not milk. Okay, so I just discovered something. Kombucha. Not the correct answer. And then we'll shuffle the answers. Actually, edit that real quick. And then we'll shuffle the choices. And we're not going to do partial. We'll do exact matches. So one of the things I noticed on this that your experience with different browsers may vary. If you're using the Firefox browser for this, as you're typing this, when you're inserting coffee, tea, and milk, it's going to require that you put ticks in there. So those are the ticks that are with the tilde between the tab and the escape key on your keyboard. That's the little slash, the little apostrophe looking thing, to surround where coffee and tea and milk are, as opposed to these blank spaces. So I don't know why it does it differently for that browser. Something about maybe it doesn't work well with tildes. I don't know. I don't have an explanation, but that is something that I just noticed, and it's a little odd. So just wanted you to be aware of that since I just discovered that.
So Chrome is the recommended browser, right, Rob?
I normally steer people towards Firefox.
Yeah,
But
for this.
yeah, but in this case with new quizzes, I feel a little differently now. I might be revising my opinion on this. So, but that's normally I'm using Chrome for this, or Firefox for this, or am I using Chrome for this? I don't even know what I'm using. So I don't know. Any case, whatever. I'm using two browsers at once right now, and I don't even know which one I'm showing you. So, but I use two browsers a lot. And anyways, next question type is matching question type. And so I'm going to show you how to do a matching. So we're going to do matching, and I'm going to do, I do have a title for this one. So here we're going to match the Vice President of the United States with their presidents. And so spent all this time setting this up, and then of course I don't always spend all that time using it. But anyways. John Adams. Type, what the darn, that'd be good. Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, and then John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. And then once we're done setting this all up, we will set up another, or we will actually take the test to show you what it looks like to be taken. So you can see that. Distractor. Oh, the distractor has to have a pair. Oh no, that one doesn't. The distractor's got to have a pair. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we get that one set up, and then we're going to do, now we're going to do a hotspot. So hotspot questions, if you've never seen one of these ones work a little bit differently. A hotspot question uses a photograph, and it uses an area of the photograph that essentially becomes hot to the pointer touch. So in this case, we're going to actually use a picture of a dice. And so we are going to use a polygon to identify which face of the die has the number 2 on it. So here we've marked out the number 2 on the dice. And I missed. There we go. And there we go. So now we can put the questions down. Touch the die face with 2 dots. And that one is now done. That's what a hotspot looks like. And then formulas. These are math formulas. So it does have a full math formula tool in it. And so we've got a math equation editor here where we can put in all the different equation editor dealies. So latex tools. So I want to put a few in there, but I don't know. I don't know enough about that to do that. So because those aren't right anyway. Those weren't real formulas. Let's do a fill in the blank. So for my fill in the blank, we are going to do a question. Let's see. Let's do it. So this one does use the backticks. I thought that other one doesn't. So I'm sorry, I made a mistake on the other one. The other one, you don't put the backticks in. Sorry, my bad. I'm just confused today. But this one you can put in multiple and put ticks around them. Through iMail, you probably put in packages and my favorite newspaper. So, okay. So this is really not a quiz, but that is how you write the questions to make it. So now we're going to go into preview mode just to see what this quiz looks like in functionality as it's being taken. So it will snow today, true or false? Well, that would be false. Put these in order of largest to smallest. 20 would go top. 14 next, 12, 10, okay. 2 plus 2, 4. Dashboard. Coffee, tea, milk, not kombucha. George Washington, John Adams, even though I missed the S, and Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. Burr, our distractor of Alexander Hamilton is always, he's in there. He's just, okay, yeah, so we're good. Our dot there. And mail. News Yeah, I don't know how I would have gotten that, but. See how it auto graded. Well, we did pretty good. Got some good scores. Favorite newspaper. Oh, we forgot to put favorite on there, but this last one, there's no way we've gotten that right. But you kind of got the idea of how it works, how you assemble the questions, how you put them together, how the different question types work. Any questions so far on any of this?
Ron, I had
No.
a tiny question from previously.
Yes.
For the
Yes.
titles, did those students see it, or is that just for us as we're looking at the quiz on the back end?
They do see it, and
they do.
and some people like to do it for like themed questions. So I don't know why. I'm not quite sure why. I don't understand it myself, but I do it myself sometimes.
Or chapter number or something, or just some category?
No, like a theme, like I don't know. I don't even have a good explanation for it. Like I literally don't. I have no good explanation for it. I have nothing. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I wish I had something like more extravagant to show you. It just looks weird. It functions a little weird. It's a little bit laggy. It's not always like snappy. It doesn't feel like the rest of Canvas. But it's really not that much different. It does have a couple different question types. It's got the hotspot, which you don't have in the other question types. But aside from that, there's not a whole lot different.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I wanted you to show it, Ron, was I think this interface and this tool is going to be important to us as Cindy moves forward with, path forward as we begin to do outcome tracking.
Yeah.
In this tool, we have the ability to mark questions as outcome, based questions.
Yeah. Yep.
So I want to encourage people to explore this.
Yeah.
At this point, because this may be a tool that may become more useful in coming months, coming year or so.
And at some point, it's going to be forced anyway. Every question type has a 1-for-1 equivalent in classic quizzes. So it's not like there isn't just a 1-for-1. We're just putting you into it. You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
So it's there isn't a whole lot of reason why you wouldn't want to make the conversion now, except for the fact that it feels different. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of reading
different.
on it. We'll have you back again probably sometime in the new year, and we'll talk about some other things like, how to convert a regular quiz, that you've already got to new quizzes. We don't want to go over that today because that's a little more involved. But there were just, as I was reading while you were demonstrating, they were talking about if you have questions that are in groups, those don't really import very well. But we'll cover that, like I said, at a future time. There's some other things that I think people might get jazzed about. The math people in particular would like, I think the math quill editor and some of those things are a little more advanced.
Yeah, the latex editor in there is pretty good. So
yeah.
I think one of the more exciting things, of course, is the hotspot questions.
Yes.
Really
Yes.
different. And so I'm wondering if, Ron, you've seen other examples, or if faculty here are looking at that and saying, yeah, I can see how I could use that. I talked to one of the architecture technology instructors, in their classes, you can really see how that'd be great, right? Because they're identifying elements of a structure or a wall, right? Have you seen other ways folks are using that?
I was going to ask a question about that. Is that accessible?
It is not accessible.
Okay.
thank you for asking that.
I
But-
used it in the biology course, or well, anatomy and physiology, for the students to have to identify a tissue on a slide or whatnot.
Yeah. Chris, what's the alternative format for that if you decide to use a hotspot question in your course?
Well, it would be kind of tough because I'm sure you can, Ron, can you do, if it's a single image, that you can probably add alt text, but it's for the whole image.
It would be for the whole image, yeah.
So it's kind of rough, kind of a tough one. It's gonna require, like a disability services specialist to assist them with a question like that. Or there would have to be some kind of tactile alternative for that question. So those are always tough ones, the hotspots type questions, because they're just visual in nature, and some things, it's not going to be a big deal, right? But those are the kinds of things we can really only try to accommodate for when the situation arises.
Hey, Ron, do me one quick favor. We had a couple
Yes.
people that entered late. Can you just show them real quickly how to turn this on in the settings?
Absolutely. Yep. So we're going to go back. Let me go back to. Let's see if I can get back. Okay. So in the course, if you go to settings in the course, that's the course menu on the right here, very bottom, and go to feature options, and then go to new quizzes and then enable. By default, it will not be enabled. So you'll have to enable it, which will then make it an option. So once you've enabled it in the course, you'll be able to use it in that course. And yeah, it's new quizzes is great. I mean, it's great. It's just a little laggy, and it's some people haven't. It doesn't have that Canvas feel quite yet, but hopefully it gets there someday. But it definitely is fully Canvas operationally.
And Ron, does it work with question banks now?
It does. It does. As a matter of fact, you might have noticed there, and in fact, I'll go back real quick to point that out if you guys didn't notice that. When I was making my sample quiz, I was able to designate to put my questions as I was building them into my question banks as well. So whenever I add a new question, I can specify if I want that to go into my question bank. So item banking, and I can do add to bank on it, and then select my bank and everything. Yeah.
What about pre-existing question banks that are downloaded from publishers?
It'll work with them. Yeah. It is actually, so this is actually based on just the regular standard formatting of the regular the QTI formatting that's used for all the other pieces that go into Canvas. It's just rearranged in a different format. So yeah.
And Ron, can you have classic quizzes and new quizzes in the same course? Like what if I made quizzes in the old way and then I turn on?
Yeah, so remember when I checked that box off that said to enable it, and I didn't check off that box that said remember this choice. So if I don't check off that remember this choice, I can have both in the same course. So I can toggle back and forth between the two, choose, do whatever I want whenever I want. So yes, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
You have to enable it for each new course, or once you turn it on, or does it stay?
You do have to enable it for each new course. It is something that we may get to a point where we actually toggle it and have it be At some point, we're going to toggle it on, and you'll never be able to do classic quizzes. But that's the day when you come in and you're going, oh my God, will you turn classic quizzes back on? But that's the day you'll come. Until then, you won't care. But yeah, you can turn it on as much as you want now. Yeah. Any
Yeah,
other
we just thought it
questions?
was an exciting, kind of an exciting tool that we knew a lot of people weren't using yet that was there. So we
Yeah.
wanted to have Ron come and just do a quick little demo. We'll have him back again and show maybe some more of the other advanced functions of it and some of those things that we didn't cover today, but
Mhm.
certainly go out and give it a try,
With the grading of the new quizzes, is it like the classic and you can go in and give them points back and like fudge points and whatnot?
Yes. Fudge points and all those things still apply. You still have the ability to moderate. So you still have your moderate up top too. So you can even add additional attempts for students. Yeah, there's a lot of great things about it. So yeah.
And it does have on the multiple answer, it gives you the ability to do partial credit. Which I
That's
believe
another
classic quizzes never did. So like if they get 2 of the 3 answers, you can give them 2/3 of the points rather than it being all or nothing, which was the case with classic quizzes.
And then if you want to give kids another opportunity, you can build on their last attempt, right? So maybe they missed 10 questions and you say, well, I'm going to give you another attempt at those 10 questions. They can go back and they'll just get, the questions that they got wrong served to them so they can build on that first attempt.
So what is the lifespan of our classic quizzes before you plan on us being on the new quizzes?
Probably forever. We'll probably have, don't you think, Ron, we'll have probably old quizzes as long as time?
I don't want to make any promise like that. Lori, I don't think your classic quizzes are going to go away and disappear anytime soon, that they'll become unrecoverable. So I'm not worried about that. But I will say that probably sometime in the next, I don't know, 2 to 5 years, that classic quizzes may, who knows, they may decide to turn it off. I don't know. I'm just ballparking there.
Okay. Just because we update every 3 years and we're coming up on our update year, and you don't want to do work twice. So we have to,
Yeah.
update. It sounds like update in new quizzes. Really, when we started.
It's not quite that lined up. This is the new quizzes has been out there for a while. We just decided to do this now. This has been out there since we've had Canvas. We just start presenting this now. So don't think it's lining up at all. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been missing it for at least a couple of years. It's been hidden in there for a while.
Mary Ball told me about it. I didn't know how to use it. So
yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Well, and everything that you have in old quizzes is gonna, can migrate. So I mean, like Ron said, you're not gonna lose anything. It's just a little bit different interface with some more features, really.
I will say sometimes that older, I'm used to that classic quizzes style. It's just spring. It's like coming home. You know what I mean? Any other questions? No?
No, well, thanks, Ron. Thanks for coming. We know you don't probably feel that great, but we sure appreciate your time today.
Right.
I know you're kind of under the weather a little bit, so.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you, Ron. I have not found the new quizzes interface friendly until today. So
Is
thank
that
you
right?
for the demo.
That makes
I
me
think
feel
you've
good.
changed my mind.
Yay! That makes me feel good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
See ya, bye-bye.